We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyle and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, and over there's my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Good morning, Veronica. I know you like this juicy topic. Does marrying a Latina mean that your kids are going to speak Spanish? And do you mind if I kind of give you my little personal story on this? And so, as you could tell, English was not my second language. My mom came to America from the South American country of Ecuador. And immediately embraced America. America number one, America the greatest. America provided her with a wonderful opportunity to lift herself up from a life that she didn't like in Ecuador. And she was very thankful from day one and has proven it by working hard, raising kids, a family, starting businesses, buying real estate, pretty much everything that you can think of as far as checking off the box of the American dream.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad successfully accomplished. And part of that was her immediate embrace of the American culture to include learning English. For her, it was a no-brainer that her kids were going to speak English from day one. And, you know, she didn't have any problems with that, with the man she married, Mike. A
white man.
A white guy from Ohio that ran off at the age of 17 to join the Marines, a man that really loved the Corps and the country. So speaking English the way he phrased it up was, well, if you're in America, you need to speak American, is how he would usually phrase it.
Was that your dad?
That was my dad. And it was a joke that kind of embodied what he was really saying. If you're in the country of the United States, and we've all recognized English being the national language, then everybody that wants to live here and chooses to live here should also embrace one of the main factors that binds us all together, which is a common language, right?
And I want to stop you for a little bit because in the U.S., we don't have a language. There's English. It's not
Spanglish.
Just in general.
Is that your point? Is the fact that because we're such a melting pot, it's actually being recognized? You can see it being filtered through in our language that's evolving as we speak.
Yeah, so
the Spanglish element.
Definitely, and I think it's very important for me to share with you guys that I'm in the States. And I love the States, and I'm doing everything that I can to fit into the States because that's where I live and that's what I love and that's where I'm able to have all these opportunities, right? I mean, that's not into the discussion, but I feel that if my first language is Spanish, as something that I want to pass over to my kids, why not? I mean,
as a heritage.
Yeah, and then it doesn't take anything
somewhat
away.
of a legacy you pass on to your kids.
Definitely. And then if you think about it, right now, companies, just to jump into a little bit more money kind of thing, companies require you and pay you more if you speak two languages. I understand with, time, probably 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, that's going to end because we're going to have to... that's going to
right? They're really good right now. Yeah. Imagine what they're going to be like later. Because I know everybody's idea of the translator is doing this.
Yeah.
But what if it's an earpiece and doing this, it's just talking like this and you can understand exactly what the other person is saying. It's going to be something that's going to obviously explode in tourism, right? Who wouldn't love to be able to talk the native language the second you jump off the plane, right? But I mean, okay, that's getting off topic, but it is lessening the need, I say, to preserve a particular language for that reason, because it's going to be something that's going to be replaced by technology.
You know what I think and I feel that happened back then in case of not only your mom but other cases that came from other countries? It's the ability to understand that people see you or used to see you or even see you now as a lower person if you speak Spanish. And let's face it, that's reality because I have read about it, I have seen about it. So it is a mentality of if I speak Spanish, I'm less than the other person, which that's not the case, at least not for me. And you and I go back and forth with, okay, English is what we have to speak. We speak English all the time myself. And I understand your perspective, but I also feel that it doesn't take away anything from my child to have the Spanish language in his head. Even if he's not going to use it, he's going to be able to understand, because you never know when he's going to need it. And if he doesn't have a cell phone to be able to translate, or maybe some glasses, he's going to have the ability. There's people that speak 5, 6, 7 languages, and it doesn't mean that they're less people. They're actually smarter people, because they're able to understand, comprehend more, right? So going back to that, I do want to make it clear that back then, 70s, 60s, 50s, 80s, people see you as less of a person if you were speaking Spanish. And I think that's a reality.
So
that's
identity.
Yeah.
There's a certain quality of my identity that I've developed over the way I talk. Because I know I look a certain way, but then I also know I talk a certain way. And when did that become more apparent? When I was at the TJ border. I remember there was, of course, the gate guards, and they'll stop people from time to time, and more likely than not, I'm a guy that gets stopped for obvious reasons.
Because you're brown.
And as soon as I say, hi, my name's Patrick Russell, how you doing? Muévete, pendejo. Muévete. Right? And so my identity as an American is absolutely dug in, rooted in by my ability to speak the language, not just to know the words and how they go together, but to speak the part, to talk the talk.
So is that a way to defend ourselves? Because let me tell you one thing. Patrick.
Yeah, where's your white girl voice? I always tell you to practice your white girl voice in case we get stuck at the the border.
Let me tell you one thing. So I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sofia Vergara.
That's actually a really bad word. Vergara.
Vergara.
And I think everyone has.
Everybody likes that sexy Latina accent, but I mean, you also need to be able to turn it off when you need to go white girl on me.
Let me tell you one thing, Patrick, that I have experience with my Russell last name. I call a place or they see my name, and it does make a difference when you have. Not even a Spanish.
In the phone customer service.
Yeah, it does. Oh, what's your name? Veronica Russell. Veronica Huerta. Oh, just wait until the end.
Yeah. Too, so right? That helps out.
Yeah, and I know that I have my ways to speak, and Patrick keeps reminding me, hey, this is because it's nothing wrong with it. If I want to speak in a particular way, that's me. But I also feel that that's part of who we are in the States. So, I mean, we kind of going out of topic, but I definitely will try to teach my kids or my kid, whatever, 1, 2, 3.
You don't even have an idea of how many kids you're going to have at this point,
probably one or none. But I will try my best to teach my son, daughter to speak Spanish when it's needed. You know what I hate the most? Wait, let me tell you. What I hate the most is having mom and dad speaking terrible English and having daughter or son not being able to understand mom and dad. That's something that in my head I just want.
Well, it goes both ways, right?
But I just want
you have to stay curious no matter how old you are. You have to continue to learn.
Definitely. But in this case, how can you have a daughter, a son, and knowing that for some reason you're not capable to speak the language, but then you're not capable to show your kids this is the way that you communicate with me? And I totally understand what you're saying. Within the States, everyone is supposed to know the language, but I just found it and I just found it so stupid how they're not able to even communicate with your own parents, and that's annoying to me. That's very annoying.
Well, I'll tell you right now what the simple answer is, and it's the one that pretty much dominated my life. I didn't need to, right?
Well, because your mom spoke English, but what about the mom and the dad that literally don't speak any English?
So the way I'm going to leave this conversation, final note, is my dad made it pretty clear to me. Anybody that you want to talk to, son, they're going to know English. And I've lived my life like that. All right, guys, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, but there is your opinion. Please use the comment box below. Let us know what you think. Don't just subscribe to the show, even though we will be doing this back and forth on a daily basis. But please, be part of the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what comes your way, no matter what obstacles or challenges that you may face, you just need to remember one thing.
Give him hell.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.